Welcome to the Crescent City, where Vital Options is in New Orleans with ASH, the American Society of Hematology. What do we need to do to both enhance research and tightening the relationship, which I see growing and growing, between the academic research community and the advocate community that have incredible, influential voices and the ability to reach the patients directly?
Well, the first thing is for people to participate. The faster and more people participate, the faster we'll make progress. That's number one. The relationship we've had with all three of these societies, but since I'm a myeloma specialist, mostly with the Multiple Myeloma Research Foundation, has really transformed the interaction. It's a very tightly knit collaboration, and it's not just the advocacy groups and us, it's also industry, it's also community centers. And I think you need a team. You need a partnership of the patient themselves, the academic centers, the community oncologists, the advocacy groups, government, public sector type organizations working together. I think that's been the key and the strength to all of these groups is not to get siloed, not to try and work in a vacuum, but to reach out and bring as many people to the team as you can.
In this era where, I'm sure if you've seen at Mayo, you can log on to a patient portal and get all of your clinical data and some of the results from some of the profiling as well. Social media, patients are connecting and talking to each other and sharing experiences, and then certainly technologies allowing us to better characterize the disease. Patients, I don't think yet realize how much strength they have and how much power and how much they can be involved. Dr. Stewart is right. We have such tremendous partnerships with academia, with the companies, with community, with FDA, but it's now the time, I think, really to bring the patient. There's been a lot of lip service to the patients at the center, but now we have the opportunity to put the patient at the center.
I also think, in the research process itself, there are a lot of things that, again, when you bring the patient voice to it, we can help accelerate that process, make it more effective and efficient, and then patients want to participate more. There's a lot of rubble in the road for patients. You look at clinical trial enrollment rates, and they're atrocious in this country. But part of it is because we haven't come together as a community and said, let's identify from the patient perspective, what are all those hurdles in front of them? Why don't they participate? And how do we encourage them to do more? And certainly the work that MMRF and LRF and LS is all focused on those issues, accelerating that learning so we can get these new treatments to patients more quickly.
This really is a paradigm shift. So when we speak about patient education, and all three of our groups I think have done a great job at this, we're not only speaking about educating our patients about these new therapies and the role that they can play in terms of their treatment and care, but what they can do to educate lawmakers, regulators, clinicians about their needs and their perspective on being treated for their disease.
I tell you what I'm struck by with the three of you is the sense of collaboration. We are so used to the splintering of advocacy groups or the competition, and I don't feel any of that here. When it comes to the hematologic organizations, there are fewer than there are. If you go to the ASCO meeting, we do an advocacy in action. There's a lot of organizations. It seems to be far more connected and intimate, in a sense, in the hematology space. And I really want to commend you for doing what a lot of organizations haven't been able to do, which is find your common ground, differentiate yourself where your strengths are, and then come together to enhance that even more.
Well, when you're focused on the patient like we all are, and all of the diseases are relatively uncommon. We're not breast cancer, prostate cancer, that, they have a big community. We have to take all of our dozens and dozens of diseases and really come together to make sure that blood cancer patients are represented, and you couldn't, take some of these smaller diseases, we'd have no voice. Right. So it really is important for patients, for all of us to work together.
Thank you, all of you, because you are working in a most exciting time. We wouldn't have had this discussion 20 years ago.